the time and God with the assist. I've been working since I was a kid, I just gotta keep my head up. Running, I'm never gonna let up. Never feed the haters cause they fed up.
Hello everyone, welcome to Rich Bulletins Uncut. I have my lovely host here, Erica.
Hi everyone.
And I have my lovely guest, Mr. King. And of course, your lovely host, ArionMonay. I would like to introduce you all to someone he's an entrepreneur. He's a Bronx native, self-proclaimed voice of the inner city. Okay? He is an author, a broker, a director, and a talk show host. He has his own publishing company, Go Getters Publication LLC. So let's welcome Mr. King to Rich Bulletins Uncut today. And what questions do you have for Mr. King?
That was a warm and pleasant intro.
Thank you.
It was long. What did you like the intro?
I loved it.
I do want to jump in and ask you, what inspired you to be an author?
The thing is, I've always expressed myself in detail since I was a kid, so I always wrote down my thoughts. So it was just something that came across naturally. And English was one of my favorite subjects in school. So I was always big on words, and my favorite book is the dictionary. So I've always had this fixation, and I've always with words, and I've always been intrigued with sentences. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to see my father read the newspaper, and I was like, wow, all those words. Like, how do you read all those words?
Right,
so I was always intrigued with letters and words and sentences.
That is awesome. Since you do have your own publishing company, what books do you have out there for the youth? Give us a little bit about you and your books, and what made you want to own your own publishing company?
Well, the first initial release is Let It Be Known, which I released almost 10 years ago. So I had completed my manuscript, and I submitted to one publishing company. They sent it back, and they sent it back with a letter and emphasized the fact that they had something similar to my work, which I didn't believe it. They sent me the manuscript back, and I've always been a hustler. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. And this was before the whole self-publishing game became a phenom. So I was kind of ahead of the game when I created my own company, and I said, I'm going to just put it out myself. And initially, the title of my book was The Al King Point of View. And I sat down with someone, attorney, by the way, and he said to me, we were having lunch in Manhattan, and he said to me, Al, no one's going to care about your point of view. I said, that's my point. Yeah, I said, that's my point. But he was so moved by my bravado, and I was like, I'm on to something, because I ignited that kind of emotion and that kind of response in the title. So I said to him that day, I said, you'll see, I'm going to just let it be known. And then it stuck to me. I said, wow, hold on. I said, let it be known. I said, the Al King Point of View. So I said, that's going to be the title of my book. And I began to educate myself on the publishing aspect, how to construct a publishing company. And what people don't realize with a book, the physical book, you have the front cover, the spine, the back cover, and then you have the pages. So every intricate detail of that book has to be designed. Even
Right.
the color of the paper, the font, which is considered typesetting, and I had to educate myself on all of this. So no one held my hand through the whole entire process. But I looked at the bigger picture. I said, I don't want to answer to anyone. Let me put it out. I'll hustle and put it out on my own. So it's been about 10 years since I released the initial book, and I have 2 other books that I'm gonna drop next year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Can you give us a little snippet of what your new books are going to be?
One of the books is a relationship book, so it's titled "My Side of the Story," and I'll be very transparent with some of the experiences that I had in my own journey, experiencing relationships, and what the kind of writer I am. I always like to use my own experiences.
So it's real.
In parallel with the content, and I like to look at it as if it's a conversation with the reader.
Right.
So it's a literary conversation, with the reader. So I'm
That's deep.
I'm very much passionate about creating that kind of flow when I write.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with that.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth, because I was going to say you seem very passionate about your writing skills.
And I'm confident, and I'm cocky with it too, because I feel a lot of these writers, I have a lot of best-selling writers that are following me on social media, and your competition is never in front of you. The competition is in back of you. So they know I'm coming. And they really can't play with my pen. They really, they can't play. I'm very comfortable with my pen. So there's writing styles that I have that I don't put out, for example, on social media, because I don't want nobody to pick it up. It's plagiarism is real.
Absolutely.
So there's writing styles I have that I don't exploit. Even when we write a post on social media, I've refrained, because being a creative, you bleed this. It pours out of you, and you can't control it. So I have to sort of catch myself, how I express myself, because there's a rhythm in my writing. So I've given out a lot of content, for free. So, I used to go on Facebook and I'll put something out there, something that I'm actually working on, and I'll test the material in the post. And then I'll get all these comments. Like I can easily put a post up and do 300, 400, 500 comments. I can stir up that kind of dialogue. I used to do that. I don't do it anymore because, being a professional writer, I'm not getting paid for that on Facebook.
Right.
And then I don't want to give none of these guys, any of my creative energy and ideas.
Right.
We living in the times where people lack, individuality,
Authenticity.
authenticity. I have all those things. So, these cornballs want to sit there, copy and paste, and cookie cut whatever you do.
But like you said, though, it's your style of writing. So, of course you wouldn't want to give, somebody all of the ingredients to your style. So I totally get it.
Right.
And even with the book that I'm talking about, not to cut you off, even with the book that I'm talking about, there's more to the book. I just don't want to put it all out there.
Right, yeah, right. That's why I say the snippet.
Yeah. And I'm excited about that. And then the other book is I Am More Than My Circumstances, which should be a motivational piece. It'll be me sharing some of my circumstances that I faced and how I dealt with them. But the whole premise, the overall premise of the book is to voice and emphasize the fact that no matter what circumstances we face in this thing called life, we're bigger than the circumstances. We're above the circumstances.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at with that.
So I'm hearing that you have a film or something coming up soon or something. Like,
yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
So, like my hat I have on, like I have a lot of merch for my company. This is Go Getters Films, film company that I'm developing. So the movie project, I'm looking to start shooting it next month. So independently, something that I've been working on for a few years. And it's titled The Streets Don't Love You, but the title has a double metaphor because the streets is a family. Streets is a family. So even with the merch, I spelled streets with an A. And I've had people say, you misspelled streets. I said, nah, not at all. And when I tell them, I say, yo, you know what? The streets is a family. They like, what? Like, yeah, streets is a family. So this is a story about a family based out of New York. The mother and father meet in high school. Their childhood sweethearts. They have this tremendous offspring, 4 girls, 4 boys. And what they did was provided so many morals and values in them to basically be a zero-tolerant family. A family with zero tolerance. So it's all about them and them monopolizing whatever they touch. So the way I made it, it's not a cliche storyline where you got them selling a whole bunch of drugs and then running through the streets and everyone's getting shot. It's not like that every scene. I have a scene where someone gets thrown off the roof.
Right.
Someone gets strangled. And I'm very excited about it because, what I did was a lot of writers don't understand when they start doing like these web series and things of that nature. I'm a real writer. There's a character breakdown. I have a backstory on each character. So what people don't realize is that you have to have a backstory on a character, which provides you storyline. So when I watch anything, I'm looking at it totally different than just viewing it. I'm looking at the camera angles. I'm looking at the texture of the film, whatever they use, whatever filters they use. If it's parallel with the content, so I'm really engulfed in that. But I'm really excited about this project, and I got a whole bunch of things that I'm gonna do with this project that's going to be different.
That is great. Well, I can't wait to see your work.
Yeah,
I
I'm excited for you. You got me excited over here. It kind of sounds similar to, but way more better than our hometown show, The Wire. Yeah. But it sounds like it's gonna be on swole.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be better.
And the thing is, this would be a hybrid of The Sopranos and The Wire. So this would be the urban version of The Sopranos, and if The Wire is based out of New York. Because I feel like, being a New Yorker, no one has really told our story. So there's a lot of cliche variables that are always expressed in our films. Everyone doesn't sell drugs in the streets. There are scammers, there are people that rob people, there are people that kill people to make money. It's a whole bunch of things. It's boosters, it's people that go in the stores and they steal clothes and they make a living doing it, reselling it. So it's a lot of different ways of getting money. There are white collar criminals at a smaller level that steal identities, that do all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's certain variables that I wanna bring out in this project.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I have a scene where someone walks up to someone and they stab them in the neck with a syringe.
Wow.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
If you saw someone just walk up to someone in these times, stab them with a syringe in their neck,
Right.
that would freak everybody out.
Yeah. I will definitely be freaked out.
So it's things like that
Definitely.
I'm exercising my imagination on.
Right.
And you've never seen any of that, anything like that in a film.
No. You haven't.
Anything like that.
Nope. You haven't. You have books coming out. You have a film coming out. And we're going to be expecting to see that around the new year?
No. By next summer.
Next summer?
So I'm anticipating a rollout of next summer.
Okay.
So second quarter.
Okay.
And it's all about oversaturating the game. And being everywhere. And just smothering the lanes. You know, that's very important because when it comes to business, to me, you come across a lot more appealing, a lot more sexy when you clog the lanes. And everybody want to get next to you.
That's a good one.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So,
Don't be shy now.
I see you on social media a lot, and I see that you post a lot of positivity, and you have a very positive mindset. So, what could you tell someone that's new in the business and want to start maybe their own directing or publishing company or just being an entrepreneur?
You have to educate yourself in the area, that particular sector that you're targeting. So what happens is, like I tell people all the time, and I like to use basketball as an example. You can't be a good basketball player and you don't know how the rules. You don't know the rules of the game. You don't understand the fundamentals. You don't want to exercise. You don't want to practice. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It does not work like that. So what I always see is that a lot of people want to get involved in something that they don't want to take the time to educate themselves on and put the work in. People don't want to sit down and read because all this information is at our fingertips. And that's what I did. I educated myself on the publishing aspect. I educated myself as a writer, as an author. What do I need to know as a writer? You know, there's a lot of there's for example, let me provide this. There's a 10-10 rule, a 10-10 format that us writers use. So it's 10 chapters, 10 pages per chapter. And that provides you with the format of writing a book.
Right.
So I always share that with writers. And I'm like, if you could get 100 pages done, that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum and the literary expectation of having 100 pages. So if you can do that without being redundant, you're on to something. So another thing is that you got to sit down. You really have to be realistic. Is this really what you want to do? Because what happens is when people realize the work that they have to put in to do something, they don't want to do it.
Yep. Right.
They say, you know what, this is too much work. Because they want to do it.
Got to put in the work.
Got to put the work in. So, to answer your question in a nutshell, you first have to be willing to put the work in.
Right.
If you're not willing to put the work in, I don't care what you're doing, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
I agree. I remember when I first started my business and I used to put my flyers out at 3 a.m. in people's mailboxes, and pounding the pavement. So, And a lot of people don't want to do that,
They want
So
the
you
results,
have-
but they don't want to put the work in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You cannot be successful in life if you don't put in no work. Okay? Slow feet don't eat. Period.
Slow feet don't eat. I
Slow
like
feet
that.
don't eat.
I like that.
You-
You gotta put the work in. Let me tell you. And the thing is, I would do, working for two big box retailers, one being Nordstrom and one being Saks, and being a $1 million earner. Holiday season, I would buy blank cards, thank you cards, and I would handwrite them. So anyone that shop with me, I gave them a card with my contact information, handwritten. So I would sit them, I would have boxes, put them in envelopes, and people would look at me, other people would be like, you did all of that? Yeah. But
Yeah.
that was my way of furthering and selling my experience.
Mm-hmm.
And
And not only that, it was showing your customers that you appreciate them as well.
appreciate them. Yeah. So I would always
It's not just
tell,
about the money.
see, the thing is, I would tell customers, my objective is to convert you from a customer to a client. Customers you see one time. So clients you continuously see based on your rapport and relationship. So I would always tell, my colleagues, see, you got a whole bunch of customers. You don't have any clients. That's not going to put you in a position that you really want to be in, because that's really not guaranteed.
Right.
It's
You
not
want to
guaranteed.
flourish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, do you have anything you want to add or ask Mr. King?
Mr. King kind of touched on everything that I had to ask. No. I want to know what inspired you to be an author, an entrepreneur, a broker. Like, I want you to spill the tea.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the brokerage. We didn't talk about the broker at all. So you wear many hats, Mr. King.
Yeah.
I do. And the thing is that I don't overwhelm myself, and I do one thing at a time. So I'm not everywhere. I'm not trying to do everything at the same time.
Okay.
Because you can't paint the picture and be in it at the same time.
Okay.
So there's times I'm in the picture, and there's times I'm painting the picture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, being broke, being raised, I came up. I'm from the garbage. So being the oldest of four, and seeing my mother struggle, that was all the motivation I needed. Ever since I was young, I was packing bags, I was shoveling snow, I was trying to get a couple of dollars, and
Right.
And that's what you call a hustler.
I grew up in a dual-parented household. My father was there, but it took me to become a father to understand how inadequate he was. So I never blamed women. When women are struggling, to me, it's because they made the wrong choice in a man. Because our roles are not to bring any problems, any burdens to the woman as men. And I tell a lot of these cornballs that, you know what I'm saying? That our role is to alleviate the problem of a woman, not induce the problems. So when I saw my mother struggle and go through what she was going through, and I'm like, my father's there, and he was inconsistent with providing because he was very comfortable with his family being uncomfortable.
Right.
That was my motivation. I never had a childhood because I was always trying to get a couple of dollars. So I used to pack bags, whatever money I got from shoveling snow, whatever, I would give my mother all my money.
Aww.
Yeah. So I was
That's a real man.
I was always trying to get a couple of dollars. So um, I was a grown man when I was young, and I never had a
Right.
childhood. I'll be honest with you. I don't feel
Right.
like I ever had a childhood. I didn't get to enjoy the cartoons like all the little kids. You know, my brother, he would sit in the house and watch cartoons. He'd be playing. I was outside. I was
Mm-hmm.
outside trying to get a
Mm-hmm.
couple of dollars.
You was playing the
That
father
was all my
role.
motivation. That was all my motivation. That was all my motivation. You know, just not having. But I wouldn't
Right.
replace that for nothing because that's
Mm-hmm.
what made me. That's what refined me.
Right. And it gave you character.
And I'm not where I want to be in my life, but I'm not where I was.
Right.
So, you know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
continuously working to elevate my life so that those I'm
Indeed.
responsible for can benefit and I can be a blessing for others and I can be
Mm-hmm.
a staple to the universe in some kind of way and be a
Right.
contributing factor and not just someone
Mm-hmm.
that just existed.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that was
Yeah.
just, you know, that was just around, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I live by my own personal mantra that we're all somebody, but we become someone based on what we accomplish.
Right.
So you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm someone because I've accomplished some things. You know, and it's all
Right.
right if you haven't accomplished things. You just got work to do. You got work to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I hear that you know from your conversation that you're creating generational wealth as well.
Yeah, that's
So
important. Like I don't operate from the frequency of the poverty pimp, the
mm-hmm.
the the
Mm-hmm.
the person that's stuck on aggression. Like when I talk to people, I tell people I'm unrealistic. They think I'm crazy, and I'm like I am, because I'm not realistic. For example, rich and wealthy people don't have life insurance policies.
Mm-hmm.
Poor people do.
Mm-hmm.
Poor people buy houses to live in them. Rich and wealthy people buy them to make more money, to create wealth.
Right. Right.
It's I'm on the other side of thinking. I'm on the
Mm-hmm.
other side of that paradigm. You know,
As you should.
so people want to leave the house that's not paid for to their kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to leave a business to their kids.
Exactly.
I don't understand that mindset. I don't get it.
Well, I left
I
my
don't.
children. I left my children businesses.
Yeah. And I don't.
Well, I will be. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I don't get adults. I'm 24. I don't get adults that don't want to create generational wealth for their children or leave them something that is beneficial for them and their family. I don't have kids yet, but when I do, my children is going to inherit my businesses that I have. They're going to inherit the family-owned business. They're
Yeah.
going to have something
In their name.
on this earth to say, yeah, I'm the next Bill Gates, or I'm the next da-da-da-da, because of what they inherit.
Other than debt, a lot of our community leave our children debt.
Yeah.
Debt
You know, so
that they can't handle, so they end up losing the house. If the house is
mm-hmm.
paid
Yep.
for, they may do a
Mm-hmm.
reverse mortgage on it and put themselves in new debt, or
Mm-hmm.
they don't pay the taxes on the property and then someone loses it. It's
Yep.
just a whole bunch of fuckery that we don't educate ourselves on the concept of getting ahead.
Yeah.
So one thing I want to do is I want to create a 501c3, a nonprofit, when I pop off and I explode, because those things do better when you're someone. My opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to, in the inner cities, I want to just make financial schools,
Right.
because I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the most important thing. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
curriculum just needs to be fiscal intelligence,
Maybe change.
financial literacy, and nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yes.
We need to be talking about getting money all day in school,
Yeah.
Right.
because that's all that
Entrepreneurship.
matters. That's all that matters.
How you get an LLC? You know, like
Yeah. Like the
Exactly.
owner of
Yeah.
exactly, the owner of Slutty Vegan in Atlanta, Georgia, they gave, I believe it was teenagers, all LLCs. Like, yeah, let's keep showing the youth and the baby boomers. What's the other ones, Ma?
Generation X.
Show everybody, like
the millennials, the baby boomers, the Gen Zs, all of that. Everybody
we need to be talking about getting money. We need to be talking about getting money all day, every day.
Yeah,
that's what it's about. And I emphasize the fact that at one time Apple owned 40% of the U.S. economy.
Right.
This was a man's vision.
Mm-hmm.
This was an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Why we can't do that?
Right.
Facts. Johnson & Johnson went from baby powder to wash machines to vaccines. Like, what's up? What's up? We can do the same thing.
Yeah.
We can do the same thing.
See, but we have to stimulate and educate our people on how important it is to get money as a collective. Mm-hmm. The profit is in the problem, not the solution.
Yep.
So we have to be very adamant about understanding how money is flow, how it flows. So the profit is in the problem.
How you generate it.
Yeah, how it's generated. So the profit is in the problem. Like I have people that will say, "Yo, we need a store over here." So I'll say to them, "Open one up." Duh. What do you mean? I don't have the money. All right, figure it out. So that needs to be the motivation to get money.
Get to it. Get to it. Ain't
so
nothing
I would rather own 10% of 10 companies than 100% of one company, and accruing all the responsibility. I tell a lot of idiots every day here in New York, I'm not trying to do everything by myself. I'm not. I just need a piece of the pie.
Right.
That's all I need. 10% of 10 companies, as opposed to 100% of one company that I only own that may not be getting no money.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come through with the come through. Like,
you need to be talking about getting money all day.
Yeah. I like the fact that you said that you want to, change the curriculum in the schools. And I was telling my daughter that, I would love to go to schools and, help people open up businesses and things of that nature, because we working for people, but we're not getting ahead for real.
Right. You're expendable at any job.
At any
You're
job.
Expendable.
At any job. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good you think you are.
Thank you. You're expendable.
So we need to be focusing on creating business credit. We need to understand the business credit system. Dun and Bradstreet. The importance of creating
30 accounts. You got to start from the bottom. Get them in their 30s.
You know what I'm saying? So how important it is to have good credit and protecting your credit and what you do with good credit. And you bring it over to your business side. You don't need a business to have a business. Everyone should have an LLC. Period. These are the conversations I have every day with people. Unfortunately, 95% of the people I talk about, when we talk about things like this, they don't want to hear it.
They don't.
Because it's substance. And it's progressive.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they have to put in that footwork. And nobody wants to put in the work to get the results. They just want the results. You cannot get any results if you don't put in the work.
And not only that, some people are just conditioned to punch the clock. They just want to punch somebody else's clock, and that's it. They don't want to hold themselves accountable for their future and, the longevity of their family, because the way our community is, and it's sad to say, but like you said, when you start talking about things with substance, with validity, People don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear
Sure
it.
don't.
They don't want to hear it. And then what's even more disheartening is the fact that we celebrate all the losers and we celebrate losing in the black
That
neighborhood.
is the truth.
It's ridiculous. So the
is
guy
the
that
truth.
comes home from jail is celebrated more than the guy that would go to college or focus on a particular trade and go from an apprentice to whatever. We don't want to. We don't want to celebrate those people. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
It is.
And I tell a lot of the men with the up north stories, you know, here in New York, I don't care about your jail stories. I tell all men this. Your mission as a man is to become a lion. To morph from a cub into a lion. Because now, when you become a lion in manhood, you only move on principles. When people mess with your family, your territory, and that's it. So the lion, you could go over there and walk around. As long as you ain't trying to just violate the territory, they'll let you walk around and coexist.
Right.
The lion is sitting there with their mane blowing, and they have this posture like, wow, that feels so good, that breeze, right? They're not dangerous until you violate their family and their territory. Then you see their teeth. And definitely not. You're not going to walk up to a lion and pull their mane or pull their tail. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So they're very misleading, lions. They're very misleading. And the thing with a lion is very dangerous alone. But once they prod up, it's really a problem. And that's what it is with real men. Real men are very effective alone. But when we prod up with other solid men, it's a problem. It's a problem. And when lions come around weak animals and other animals in general, they just shake the whole floor, the whole ground. Nothing is the same.
Yeah.
Nothing is the same.
Okay, Mr. King.
Nothing is the
Okay,
same.
we know you're the king of the jungle. What animal you think you would be? Probably a lion too, because that shakes some shit up.
No, you remind me of like a jaguar.
A jaguar? Why?
Yeah.
I'm not good with that kind of stuff, though.
Because okay. Like,
Jaguar's an
you know
interesting
when
animal.
to hide. It's a very sophisticated, sexy animal.
Yeah.
And you are very sexy. Like the way that you portray yourself, the way you carry yourself, how you handle yourself with people, like it's very sexy.
I think I'm charismatic. I don't think that I'm sexy.
You're sexy.
Okay.
You're sexy, Ma. And when I get your age, I want to be sexy like you. Okay?
You can make me cry. So the reason why I
Yeah,
said,
you gotta take all that. You know, all the sexy and all that. You gotta take all that. You gotta take all that.
yeah, thank you.
And
Thank you.
like when it's in the trees at night, because they be in the trees.
Yeah, they
So
do.
what I'm doing at night? What I'm doing at night, y'all?
They be in them
While they
trees.
in the trees at night, they scoping out everything. They looking at everything, trying to find
I
out
love
who
their
don't belong
physiques.
over here.
I love their physiques. They're the Jaguars. Their bodies are so dope. So muscle.
Look. All right, y'all making me echo, but
Yeah.
you know.
No, let me finish.
For me, like people see me in different ways, and like when somebody compliments me, I don't know how to take it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why?
I appreciate it, but I just don't know how to.
You confidently say thank you.
I said thank you,
And you be sexy.
but
about
it make me feel like I just want to ball up. Like, no, that's not me. You know, like, but you know, a lot of people say that, you know, about me, but
They want
I
to.
don't see myself like that.
They want to scope out what's going on first. They don't let people know that they there. They sneak up, all soft, and then they attack you.
No, that's that Scorpio. I'm gonna sting your ass.
But I think that's your spirit animal, I guess.
Okay.
Mine's
That's
is a
dope,
hawk.
though.
Yours a hawk?
Mm-hmm.
So why you a hawk? Tell me about the hawk. Please.
I'm a hawk because it's the top of the food chain.
Yo, they're so
It is?
dope. Hawks are so dope, and they're so interesting. They're very
See,
interesting.
y'all can relate to this.
They're very interesting.
I can
Wow,
relate to
she said
y'all
a
explaining,
hawk.
but
That's very
so
interesting.
tell me about the hawk
All right, let me tell you about the hawk.
and why you relate to that.
Okay, let me tell you why.
And then we got to give Mr. Al his takeaway.
Okay.
Well,
You
he
know-
already
you
kind
know-
of gave us like.
You know, a hawk can just pick a person up.
Yeah,
What he said?
A hawk can pick a person up and just fly away with them.
yep. So what I was getting to,
Come on, Miss
they
Ariel.
are at the top of the food chain. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they are at the top of the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are they at the top of the food chain, a hawk glides through the wind. It doesn't fly; it glides. So it's a slick animal. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a plane. It glides through the air.
Yeah, you're very strategic. Yeah, you are.
Very, very.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is calculated to a T
Mm-hmm.
with a hawk. A hawk just don't go and get prey. It looks, it waits, it takes its time.
And then it's straight.
It takes its time to get to learn whatever their prey is. They get to learn it. And one thing with a hawk is, you try to take something from a hawk, they're gonna let you know that I'm the hawk and why I'm the hawk.
Okay.
They not just gonna peck at your eyes. They gonna come get you.
Okay.
They gonna let you know that I'm at the top of the food chain.
Get it.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
That's serious.
They at the top.
That's serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody that see a hawk in animal world, every animal that sees a hawk knows to not play with a hawk.
Okay.
Like, don't you know how when you say you walk in the room and you turn heads? Yeah, that's a hawk. That's a hawk.
The screen just froze.
They know
up.
not to play with it.
But I think I turn heads because of the light that radiates off of me.
You did. Mm-hmm.
So.
That is true. And how flashy you be.
Anyway, Mr. King.
You know well good. You dress well, huh?
Yes, I do.
You know how, listen, when people tell you know how to make shit look good.
Yes, I know how to make shit look good. I do. I'm known for that. But
Make shit look good.
what'd he say?
You say you make shit look good?
Yeah, I can make shit look good. The shit. In the toilet, I make it look good. So, I just am grateful to have had the opportunity to have you on our podcast.
Yes.
You have shed a lot of light to the audience, and we thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all.
So what's your takeaway, Jaguar?
My takeaway would be
I can see that. The Jaguar. All right, Jaguar. All right. Okay.
I do got a little switch with me though when I'm
Sure.
it's serious.
Sure, man.
No. I got a switch. It's serious. No, but I don't know. I really don't have a takeaway tonight other than I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm really grateful. But I did want to ask you, where can people find you on all platforms? Are you on all platforms?
All platforms. Mr.
Can we get
Alking.
your book?
MRALKING on every platform.
Okay.
It's the same.
Okay.
Same handle. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Mr. Alking.
Okay.
Awesome. And where can we purchase your books?
Contacting me.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I'm on Amazon
Well,
and all
I got
those
my book.
platforms.
I got my book, y'all, from contacting him. Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
it came to me. So we ain't doing no fraud, no scamming over here. Like it came to me.
Right. We not doing no knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone.
Like it came to me. Like we on some real stuff over here. So you know, you can find him on all platforms. Anything you want to say, Miss Ariane?
Yes. My takeaway is
I learned a lot from you tonight. Like I really did.
Really?
I learned a lot.
I'm trying to get one.
Yes.
I like my takeaway was the fact that you said that writers go by a 10 rule.
10-10.
And that if you can get 100 pages done,
Yeah.
like that was my takeaway, because that is a lot.
Nah, it's
That's a
not.
lot.
It's not.
100?
Yeah, it's
That's a
not.
lot.
It's not.
For somebody that don't write, that's a little.
A lot. But I like that because 5.
She about to do math, y'all.
5 is a very strong, powerful number. Okay? So when you get the other 5 and you bring it in, you have a whole.
Come on now.
That's a
have
good
a
way to
whole.
look at it.
So if you got 5 done, you halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get to that 100, you on where you need to be. You on the right track.
On the right path.
You on the right track.
And that's probably
With the math.
that's probably about, 100 pages is going to put you at about maybe 75,000 words,
Yep.
around that, about 75,000 words. Sounds like a lot, but when you start writing and you start doing those pages, those Microsoft Word pages are 8.5 by 11s. So you averaging
Right.
about 500 words per page.
Never feed the haters cause they fed up. They still tryna find a way to win. I the God that's when it all begins. I don't need a rollie on my wrist. Perfect timing, God